Hello and welcome back to Jazz Bass Secrets. I'm Cyrus Sink. In this lesson, we will conclude our study of 2-5-1 patterns with each chord lasting one bar. Our example is usually in the key of B flat, so we'll stick with that. We've got C minor 7th for a bar, F 7th for a bar, and B flat major of some kind for 2 bars. We're going to look at a couple of 2-5-1s starting on some different starting notes than we've looked at so far. So our first lick will start on the 11th or the 4th degree of the minor chord scale. Let's look at the progression C minor 7, F 7, B flat, major 7th. So we'll begin on the 11th, the note F, or down here if you prefer, on the C minor chord. I'm going to do it in both octaves. Okay, let's look at that again. Okay, let's see if we can do it down an octave without running out of notes. We'll have displays here. Since we didn't have enough notes down and F to hit the flat 7 and whatnot, we went up an octave, which is a common way to vary a line. And a good way to stay low when you're improvising is to displace octaves to avoid getting up into the nether sphere. Okay, let's look at that lick in time on a C minor 7, F 7, B flat 2-5. Okay, one more time. Whoops. Stand it, tune up. No, that was me. Okay, let's look at that lick in some other keys. Let's try the key of F. We'll use G minor 7, C7 to F. We'll be on the 11th or 4th degree of the G minor chord, which will be the note C, and we'll have the following. In rhythm. Probably go a little faster if necessary. It's a little sloppy, but whatever. You can do this in all 12 keys, of course, as we've discussed. Perhaps we should do it in another key. How about the key of E flat? Again, we started on the 11th or 4th degree of the F minor chord, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat 7. Again. Okay. Alrighty. Let's look at a lick beginning on the 5th of the minor chord. We haven't covered that yet. So let's look at our key of B flat. Again, C minor 7, F 7, B flat. We will begin on the 5th of the chord. This line has a few unique factors. It accents the flat 5 or sharp 4 on the dominant chord and resolves to the major 7th of the 1 chord, both relatively dissonant tones, but in context of the line it works quite well. So let's look at this from the 5th of the 2 minor chord. That would be a C minor 7 and the note would be G. Let's play the line slowly. Again, from the fifth of the C minor chord, the G. Notice I'm using the open G string to facilitate the transition to the higher register. I'll do it slowly. G, D flat. Okay, let's look at that in time. And one more time. There I did not use the open G, just for a variation. Let's look at this perhaps in one more key, just so you get the idea. We'll do it in key of C is familiar for most people. Let's do D minor 7th, G 7th, C major 7th. Here we go slowly. Double stop's optional, of course, just to hear the relationship there. Let's look at that again from the 5th of the D minor chord, the 2 in the key of C. Let's look at it in a little bit more rhythm. Okay, one more time. Alright, this works great in all keys. 12 keys is a good idea, a good way to go. We look at it in any key you want. How about F? Again. This can be done in all registers of the instrument as well. Let's conclude with a lick or two more. We'll do one more lick from the 5th, say. How about this one? We'll go from the 5th of the C minor chord for a 2-5 in B flat, C minor 7, F7, B flat, major 7. Let's do this slowly, and then we'll speed it up from the 5th. Again. Let's try it, same lick, a little brighter. Okay, this also works in other registers of the instrument, of course. Let's look at it in a different key. Key of F, G minor 7, C7, F major 7 from the 5th of the chord. In this case, it'll be D. Octave displacement is possible to vary the line or change register when you see fit, of course. So with a little more rhythm. A couple of variations there you can use. Etc. Encircling, enclosing notes, finding different points for resolution, whether it be the 3rd, the 5th, or chord tones are a good place to start. Maybe one last lick we'll look at that's based off of the 11th, kind of a quote from Honeysuckle Rose that you hear a lot of people use it, and it uses the 11th as the first note. Honeysuckle Rose is usually in F, The melody goes something like, etc. So we can create a 2/5 using that idea, maybe going. Using a cliche that we've used before on the dominant chord in several examples. You could vary what you do on the dominant chord, of course. I just chose that particular lick to reinforce it. Again, and we did that in the key of F. Again, this works in all keys. Let's look at it in C from the 11th. Okay, up an octave. Sorry, I messed that up. We're in C, so. Okay, you get the idea on that lick. Sort of a variation on some things we've already looked at. So that concludes our study of 2/5-1s using the 1 chord per bar harmonic rhythm. Next we'll move on to minor keys and look at some minor 2/5 ideas. Stay tuned for more jazz-based secrets. Thanks.